In Australian touring car racing, there's only two kinds of competitor, the professional and the privateer. The pros, like Mark Skaife and Glenn Seaton, do the bulk of the winning, while the others, it seems, wait patiently to pick up the leftovers. Modern V8 touring cars are virtually identical in specification. So why is it that there's always such a performance gap between the top professional teams and the smaller part-time privateer outfits? Now, these two Commodores may look the same, but that's pretty much the only similarity between the top professional and the privateer. Gibson Motorsport is the most successful touring car team of the 1990s. Under the guidance of team owner Fred Gibson, Mark Skaife and Jim Richards have won 4 of the last 5 national touring car crowns, plus 2 wins and a second in the past 3 Tooheys 1000s. Gibson's is also the most successful Holden team in the current V8 formula, with 6 round wins and 12 race victories in the past 2 years. The Lansvale Smash Repairs team is one of our most competitive single-car privateers. Panel-beating team owners Steve Reed and Trevor Ashby are an integral part of the local touring car scene, but their success rate is in stark contrast to Gibson. Not a single championship race win, just 2 top 6 title round finishes and a best result of 10th outright at Bathurst. So what are the key ingredients that make Gibson Motorsport so much more successful than the Lansvale team? Firstly, let's look at the drivers. Is Mark Skaife a better driver, or could our battlers be just as fast in equal equipment? On a recent test day at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway, we attempted to find an answer. Steve Reed recorded a best time in the Lansvale Commodore at 1 minute 37.67 seconds. We then strapped Mark Skaife in, and after just 5 laps in his first drive of the car, the 94 champ had cut nearly 2 seconds off Reed's best time.
In terms of driving the car's quite good. It's got tends to have reasonable engine power. It's quite softly sprung and quite neutral in its balance. The brakes are good. To be fair, you know, Steve doesn't do motor racing as a profession, and you know, in lots of ways that's a difficult thing for him also. You know, Steve you know, runs a business trying to afford going motor racing, where we're almost the opposite. All we do is to spend it, you know.
The Gibson team conducts a gruelling schedule of 100 test days a year, working through a staggering 1,300 tyres annually in testing and racing. Skaife does all the driving, which, combined with race meetings, means he spends an average of 3 days of the week, every week of the year, driving his race car. At the other end of the pit lane, the Lansvale team has just 6 test days annually, and by sharing the driving chores, Steve and Trevor would be lucky to get 15 days a year each behind the wheel, testing and racing combined. Practice makes perfect, and there's no doubt it's a distinct advantage for Skaife. Then it was Reed's turn in the red and white machine. After Mark had put in a best of 1 minute 35.1, Steve's best after 5 laps was still more than 3 seconds slower. In driving terms, it appears Skaife has the edge.
Oh, I'm really impressed. I mean, it's different hours. I mean, I'm not comfortable in the car. I'd like to adjust the seat and change the steering wheel, but I'm really impressed with the car. The car feels like it's a lot tighter and a lot in a lot of areas in brakes. Although I didn't go desperate under brakes, but it feels it's a lot more secure under brakes. I'm turning into a corner, and that nowhere land in the middle of the corner seems to disappear. The mid-corner speed of this car is much better.
So, is there really much difference between the cars? In half of this year's championship rounds, the Lansvale Commodore was only 1 second slower than Skaife's car in qualifying. While the blink of an eyelid doesn't sound like much, think about this. If the Lansvale car is just 1 second slower over 1 lap, after 30 laps, Skaife is a whopping half a minute in front. Maintaining this crucial 1 second advantage, though, doesn't come easily or cheaply. The Gibson Motorsport headquarters at Dandenong in Victoria utilises the latest in computer-aided design and manufacturing equipment, employing a full-time staff of 27. The team has built 7 Holden Commodores, improving and refining each one to the point where virtually every component is designed and manufactured in-house. The level of continuous development is staggering. Over the past 2 seasons, the engine department alone has experimented with 50 individual camshaft profiles, 10 different cylinder head valve configurations, and 5 inlet manifold prototypes. The inventory is equally impressive, with 6 Hollinger gearboxes on the books and 8 V8 race engines at $60,000 apiece. With an annual payroll alone that tops $1 million, plus the budget needed for a full season of testing and racing, it's not hard to see where $3 million will be required each year to keep Gibson Motorsport at the head of the pack. By comparison, the Lansvale operation is tiny. The race car is prepared in a small workshop at the Ballina Car Care Centre on the New South Wales North Coast. Under the guidance of proprietor and part-time team manager Ron Gillard, preparation is handled by full-time mechanic Nick Hutton with an annual budget of just $350,000. Gibson's two-car team will spend more than that just for this year's Tooheys 1000. Without the resources of a professional team, the Lansvale Commodore must be built using a large number of components from outside suppliers, and its development and race tuning is obviously restricted by time and budgetary constraints. The end result is clear. The current V8 touring cars do appear to be virtually identical, but that's pretty much where the similarities end. The battle, as it seems, will always be one step behind the pros.